I don't do karaoke, but I always want to like sing that song out. So
I do too. I was about to say I wanted to bang my head like I was at a rock concert.
Hello and welcome to In the Corner. Welcome to SJP World Media. I am, of course, Benny Mac. Joining me from across the pond, as per the norm, with his big T behind him, is Tyler Peters.
I mean, it's appropriate. It actually stands for Tennessee, but it could stand for Tyler.
Yeah,
but
that's what I
how
thought
are
it
you
was
doing,
for.
Benny? Yeah, I'm doing fantastic as always. In a little bit of a different room setting, but it works out. I wanted to try to change up the format, so to speak. So don't adjust your sets too much.
Yeah, well, it is the 60th episode of In the Corner. It is, over a year now. Obviously, I wasn't here for that, but dug out the old bow tie to put on. This is from.
You're looking sharp. I should have got mine, but I wouldn't know how to tie it. That's the problem.
It's a clip-on, mate. Don't worry. That's where you got to go. Clip-on, mate. Right?
Uh-huh.
Or get yourself a butler that can do it for you. So,
well, I need to hire a butler, but I can't afford it. But hey, you're onto something there.
It's all good. Maybe we need to have a T-shirt now in the corner with a bow tie on the top, mate. I think that's what needs to be done.
Perfect. I mean, let's get signed it. Let's get it branded. Why not?
It's got to be done, man. Welcome back. It's In the Corner, obviously. We are, like I said, we're on SJP World Media. We're obviously on delay on the whole podcast, Apple and Spotify and stuff. Man, I missed Money in the Bank. I didn't miss it. I watched it, obviously, but I missed the show. And I want to say thank you to you. I know I already done this privately, but I want to say thank you to yourself and Si for covering. Mate, it was a great show. I didn't get to watch it live. Obviously, where I was, the internet wasn't the best, but I got to watch a little bit and just pop in and say hello. And then I was off again, basically, and I was in the bar having a few drinks, to be fair.
Well, it looks like you were having a good time. You deserve the vacation. Congratulations on the 1 year anniversary. Money in the Bank was a terrific show, and hey, you're very welcome. Me and Si had a great time, but we definitely missed you, Benny, and I'm so glad you got a chance to review it, though. I'm happy to hear it. And I think, speaking of Si, he chimed in. There I go talking, and I got to acknowledge.
Yeah, Evening gents, he's in the chat. Everybody else, so thank you very much for popping by.
I acknowledge him.
Yeah, if you want to, just below me, you can scan that QR code and you can call into the show if you want to. We're going to give it another go. We'll see if anybody can call in, obviously. Don't know how that's going to necessarily work, but we'll give it a go. It's there anyway on Skype.
Yeah, you need to call in. I'm not going to do anything to you. Just we're having fun.
Well, let us know your thoughts on what we're talking about, basically. We've got quite a bit to cover, obviously. I know you've already talked about it with Si. Money in the Bank, I enjoyed watching it. From where I was, the crowd in the UK and stuff. I was so gutted I couldn't be there, but I was on holiday anyway, so I don't bother. But mate, it was a great night, and that little tease from Cena with the whole possible WrestleMania type thing. I'm not gonna lie, I think Si said it on the show because I listened to it back, obviously, but I never thought that would happen. Obviously, it's not happened yet. I've always wanted to go to the States. I've always wanted to go to WrestleMania. That's one of my bucket list things to do. And I think that's a lot of people who are wrestling fans that aren't from.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Even people from the States. That's if they're a wrestling fan, it's a bucket list thing they want to do. So I never thought it would happen. If it happens, it's still going to be expensive to go to, obviously, but it's a lot closer than flying over the pond to get to it.
No, it's right there at you. I mean, we're talking London. I hope for the sake of the people in Great Britain that it happens. I mean, it's
amazing if it did. It really
with John Cena coming out, there's got to be a lot of clamoring for such an event. I just would be overjoyed for yourself and sign everyone over there that I know is from the UK. I feel you all deserve it.
It would be cool. The crowd was really good. I've been to the O2 Arena, so that arena where they did Money in the Bank, I actually went to see the wrestling there, WWE, in about 2009. So I know what the atmosphere is like. It was freaking just to see it on TV though is all. I love a good crowd, whether it's in the States or America, or over here. I love a good crowd, wherever it is in the world. If they're passionate about it, you feel it when you're watching it at home. So.
It makes the show even greater because that adrenaline, you feel that their energy, and it gives an energy to the event itself. I concur.
Yeah, 100%, man. So yeah, episode 60 somehow. Dug the bow tie out, like I said. For those people who are watching live, I've seen on listen. I can assure you, I'm wearing a bow tie with a t-shirt. It's not the correct procedure. I don't think to
It
where
doesn't matter. This is your show. I forget procedures. Go fickle yourself if you don't like it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm tired of you people. I've got a Mets shirt. Okay. I'm going to get a lot of hate because I'm a Mets fan. Get over it. Okay.
There you go.
Now we're getting off on another podcast. This is about wrestling. Benny, forgive me. Connor, how are you doing?
Yeah, Connor, how you doing? Thanks for popping by.
Take my medicine now. There you go.
It's all good, mate. It's all good. I know the people that tuned in a few weeks ago, we played a few footage from apparently WWE, even though I muted it, they didn't like it. We almost got told off. So I almost got us told off on SJP World Media. So we won't be doing that again, unfortunately.
So we're blackballed?
We're not, well, never were quite there, but we did get a little bit of a telling off. Sai had to message me. In fairness, Sai was really good about it. I thought the concept was really good. It wasn't playing their sound. I just thought it'd be cool to give a reference to when we're talking, but apparently not how to do it. So, which I thought I may be skimming the line a bit, but I apparently went over it. So there we go.
The temptation was there. Hey, at least we got Sai. Hey, you don't know till you try. I mean, as the old Oakland cliche goes.
It's better to ask for forgiveness than to maybe ask permission sometimes on certain things. So there we go.
Yeah, absolutely, my friend.
Right. So, yeah. SummerSlam is on its way. Where's it? Detroit, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, Detroit. It's getting very close because I got to look, and what are we, 3 or 4 weeks away?
Something like that. I didn't look at the date, mate, to be fair. That's bad, isn't it?
No, you're fine. I threw that one on you, so it's not your fault. Even for me, I was asking, or maybe our audience can help that. Let us know in the comments.
August 5th. There you go. August 5th. It's going to be. So we're not too far away.
No, we're not.
Some matches. What's I saying? Bloody WWE. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, that WWE. Come on.
I hope they don't take me down for my lovely Bootios.
They may take me down just because I'm showing my face. They may be, hey, you need to be on radio.
We're going to be going audio again, Tyler. Both of our faces
They're like, he needs to be audio. This guy definitely can even be a backstage interviewer. He can be the assistant to the interviewer.
That is a face for radio, as they say. There we go. Anyway, oh man, we gotta talk about a few things. There's a couple of little things. Again, they're not Webosphere stuff, but we're gonna move back to SmackDown a little bit. And or a little bit of Money in the Bank, because obviously you guys already covered that, so I don't want to go too much into it. But Jay versus Roman.
I think again, it's going to happen.
Nothing's been announced yet, but the way SmackDown went off and Jimmy being injured or being taken out by essentially his own brother, as in Solo and Roman. Mate, I don't think Jay's going to beat Roman for the title. But there's several ways they could go with this. I'm not going to give predictions or anything, but I've loved everything up to now, and I'm still liking what's happening. Your thoughts on Jay versus Roman? And I know we've talked a lot about Bloodline, obviously, but just your thoughts on possibly. I think it's going to happen at SummerSlam, isn't it? To be honest, let's face it.
I think it's got to be just the way they're leaning. I think all these programs are leading us to the road. Concerning SummerSlam, and we're going to definitely get Jay versus Roman. I think it's a great callback to the history. If you looked at what happened at Hell in a Cell and Clash of Champions back in 2020, that's what I love. All the little tie-ins regarding the Bloodline storyline. We can't help but discuss it, folks. It's easily one of the best storylines. I mean, it holds up at least. I mean, if you're comparing the stories in professional wrestling, you want to call it sports entertainment, whatever. I think it's going to be a magnificent match because you've got Roman, you've got Jay, you've got all the parts, Heyman, you've got Solo, you've got Jimmy. And, the anticipation keeps growing. Now, I don't know if Roman will be on SmackDown this week, but what happened with the tribal court situation that transpired between all the relatives, including the wise man, and normally it's Cy Powell, but it's Paul Heyman in this instance.
In this context, yes.
Yeah, exactly. But you can't help but go lengthy. Forgive my, going long on the answer here, but it's just the Bloodline deserves it. It's been that revolutionary, I'll dare say, and it's been cinematic. It's just, it's hard to say where it's going to go. It's hard to pinpoint. Because when you think you got to figure it out, they swerve us. There's so many twists and turns and directions they can explore. So I'm really looking forward to this match. It's got the family strife, the tension, the turmoil, the bloodlines finally imploded as we know it to be. And I just can't wait to say, or part of me see what's going to happen at SummerSlam.
Well, I've seen Sai's comment there. I'm just wondering if he wants to. Sai, I can see that you're on Skype, mate. If you want to call in, let me know, mate, and we can. I'd be good to have your take on it, to be honest. But Jay versus Roman SummerSlam, Jimmy versus Roman.
He commented just now.
Yeah, Solo wins the Rumble. So much they can do with it. There is so much they can do with it. I still want Gunther to win the Rumble after last year's showing. I still want Gunther to win.
Where it was he and Cody. Yeah, they were the final two.
It was really good. So, but yeah, if you are in a position to call in, you can. Obviously, not just Sai, everybody below. Scan the QR code; it will take you to the Skype channel, the page,
Do
whatever.
Do yourself a favor and call in. Come on, we
let us know what you think. Yeah, 100%. It'd be quite cool to hear from you. But yeah, oh, hang on, James in the chat here. Let's go to that quickly. The Bloodline storyline is a great storyline since Jack the Snake.
No, Jake the Snake. Yeah, I think he meant Jake. Yeah. I was about to say, I don't remember Jack the Snake. That could have been the cousin that's unanimous. How do you say it? That's hidden. I don't think that's the right word. Unanimous. Boy, I need to go back to school. The model Rick Martel.
The great storyline, to be fair. I don't see the story is about Jay in the sense of, and it all started with Jay, didn't it?
It did.
I mean, things could change. I mean, the general consensus is that it's going to be Cody versus Roman next year again at WrestleMania for that finish the story moment. Now, whether that happens, we've already talked about it at length about him winning the World Heavyweight title. It seems like it would seem like a bit of a consolation prize, to be fair. I was going to say about the Bloodline stuff on SmackDown. That video package they played on the tribal
court.
The tribal court was really good, and those flashbacks to all those things that happened from 2020 up until now was really good. And he's like, "I'm not like that. You've made me like." So he went, "I'm not like that." Then he goes, "But you've made me like that." So in one breath, in one breath, he's gone, "I'm not like that." Then he's blamed them for him being like that. So which is it, Roman? And that whole giving the thing over to Roman to Jay, and crying and such manipulative, but very good in terms of performance. But in terms of a bad guy, what a prick.
Yeah, well, I mean, you want to see him get defeated and beat up, and he's portraying it so perfectly. Like you said, the performance aspect of it between all of them has just been superb. And it's just like any good television series or film. I know I've said this so many times, and you have as well, Benny, but it's true. They're able to portray on screen, and even if they continue it on house shows or we're seeing video packages, like you said, it helps us remember the story of how this bloodline got here. And that's important because you may have a lot of the audience that they don't realize when this all originated. So it may be good. They may have only caught up on it later on in a latter stage. So no, you brought up some excellent points.
I was going to say that's really good for somebody who maybe could have been tuning into that episode of SmackDown for the first time ever, not knowing really what's going on, and then seeing that callback to these things that have happened. You go, oh, okay. And then clearly getting a picture of this dude's a bit of a freaking douche, basically.
I think he's a sweetheart. I really admire Roman Reigns. This is me trying to be a heel. I think he's great. I mean, who are the Usos to say they're anybody without Roman Reigns? Of course, I'm kidding. I wanted to play into some of the what they're doing in sports entertainment. That's why I didn't get hired by a wrestling company. They heard that. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. But basically, we think obviously it's going to be again, nothing's been made official, but we're looking at the fact that Jay versus Roman could be at SummerSlam, and Jay making comments of like, "I'm going to beat you again." Obviously, it wasn't a tag match, but he did pin Roman, which has not happened at that point had not happened for 3.5 years. I mean, just quick,
a very long time.
Just quickly before we move on, I think I read somewhere today that it is now 100 days since Roman Reigns has actually defended the title. I mean, what happened to the 30-day I mean, I think they said in a promo at some point that he negotiated it in his contract not to have to defend it every 30 days or whatever. But that kind of seems to have gone out the window a long time ago before Roman, to be fair. I think Dean Ambrose was
Yeah, I
United
don't
States
think it
champion
was
for a
just a
long time.
Roman Reigns issue. Like you said, there's been others before now. That's always the funny thing because people go, wait a minute, it's he's not defending his title. Well, there's been a lot of champions before Roman Reigns that have done the exact same thing. So come on, really? That's just kind of pretty evident. I can't help but laugh. I don't mean it disrespectfully, but it's just common sense.
What I did find interesting in that bit on SmackDown was when Solo picked up the tribal chief lei or whatever it's called, and Roman was like, "Give it here." And there was a bit where Solo didn't just kind of looked at Roman, didn't want to, almost like looking at it. And I'm thinking he can complete his Umaga look if he does that, right? But what I find with this story, because we've seen a bit of Roman bumping into Solo and being like, "Oh, sorry," which he never did before. And then we've had these moments, and the way he has treated Jay and Jimmy by pushing them in the face and talking down to them and stuff like that, is basically a case of, I don't think Solo will deal. If Roman pushes Solo, I feel Solo will break a lot quicker, basically. So.
Yeah, I don't think Solo's going to take too kindly. He's not going to be as forgiving as Jimmy or Jay have been in the past. It may be more of a quicker aggression that he displays against his cousin Roman Reigns. But I do like the subtleties. If I can speak, I don't know what's happened to my speech, but it's I like it.
Oh, we've lost Tyler. We're going to take a call anyway. Tyler seems to have disappeared, but Sai, can you hear me? Oh, you're very quiet. Oh no, the calling thing's not working. Hang on. I wonder if I just done my audio wrong. Sorry, we're only live. Don't worry about it. Hang on. Talk again for me, Sai.
So professional.
I can't. Can you hear him, Tyler? Oh no. I don't know whether it's not. I don't know if it was coming through that. And Tyler disappeared anyway. As well,
yeah, no,
so
I disappeared. I'm having some technical problems. I guess I shouldn't have said anything about Roman Reigns. I did hear a little bit of it, so forgive me. It's not BenNy. It's on my end. That's what I get for trying a different location. I need to go tell myself to go fickle myself or something. Come on, this is. It's funny. You just have to laugh. Man. It's live sometimes. But no, I was just going to say, going by what you were saying last about Solo and Roman. I do see that eventually happening. I'll just make it quick because I've even forgot what I was trying to say. I think it was a little intricate part of me, say it plural. My goodness, it's got me all conflicted now. But I do agree. I better stick with that. I'm digging the hole here. This is a little unique, is it not?
I did hear Saw. I could hear him. I don't know if anybody else could hear him. That's the problem.
I could hear him a little bit. Of course, ended up disappearing. Like I said, I don't know if it's Bray Wyatt, it's Roman Reigns, maybe it's WWE getting mad at me now. I don't know.
All of a sudden, I've vanished. I think the volume's okay and stuff. Anybody in the chat, let us know if you could actually hear Sai. I think he was really quiet on mine. I turned everything back up, but I couldn't quite hear what he was saying, unfortunately. So hopefully, if you want to try it again, we might try it again in a little bit. I'm just trying to see if I can get the settings up, to be fair, to have a look.
No, you're doing a great job, BenNy. And like I said, hey, we're live. Hey, anything can happen. So I can disappear. Who knows?
You did. I think once the call came in, I
did. I could tell. I was off the screen. So I was like, man, I should have paid Sai better. That's what happened.
Wow, there we go. Well, I'll tell you what we can do. Let's see if we can get him to, if he wants to stop by, he can. If I do this from my end, we can do this for Sai if he's on his laptop. I don't know whether it was his headset or whether it was me or what it was, to be honest, mate, to be fair. Either way.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but yeah.
Dan Griffin said he couldn't, which is weird. I'm sure we can hear us.
What's that now? Yeah, Dan
Griffin saying he couldn't hear him either. So let me just try this. Right. And then if he wants to, he can then pop in to the old... that's not the right thing to do. Mate, I'm doing so many different things here. It's mental.
No, you're doing. Hey, listen, folks. This guy's doing so many things. I mean, it's true. So it's very difficult, this process. I want everybody to understand. I know a lot of you do, but just in case.
It was work. We tested it. It did work. I don't know whether I've done something wrong over this. And I have no idea. We'll have to figure it out.
You're doing
anyway,
great,
yeah.
BenNy.
But yeah,
things happen. It's just it's reality.
But yeah, the whole Bloodline story's been really good.
No, it's been great.
It's been really good. So
yeah, I acknowledge you, Roman. Please, is that what happened? I disappeared. Solo. Please don't get mad at me, the enforcer.
He might do.
Yeah, he might.
What was that about then? Sorry, I'm fiddling with this now, and I probably shouldn't be. To be fair, it's just trying to figure this audio out. I should have tested it beforehand, shouldn't I? I did before, and it was working fine. Anyway, let's move on with the bloody show, shall we?
You're doing fantastic. It's part of the show. What are you kidding me? We planned this stuff.
Yeah.
Don't get me that.
Anyway, sorry if you're still watching. I sent you a link for the thing. If you do want to pop by, you can. Anyway, yeah, Bray Wyatt return. We nudge towards this every so often, but based on what I'm reading, they're just waiting for him to be better. Whatever was actually wrong with himself. But on episode of Chain Wrestling this week, they did talk a little bit about Bray Wyatt. He actually went in the Hall of Lame, and Sai did say it wasn't necessarily because of the. It wasn't because of the Bray Wyatt, the character as such. It was more the way he'd been booked and matches where he should have won. And we talked about it at length on Monday on Chain Wrestling with Sai and Mags. But I'm unfortunately, the pitch black match we've mentioned before wasn't the greatest.
Please don't remind me.
The pitch black match? I won't remember. The pitch black match was.
I had to give you a hard time. I'm just teasing.
But yeah, it could have been a lot better, couldn't it? Let's face it. But by all accounts, they do want him back there. But the health issues that he has, or whatever it is going on, is just keeping him from being. I mean, I don't know what does he come back as? Should he just come back as the Bayou Bray Wyatt?
I'm almost wondering. I think that even I read somewhere where Undertaker feels like WWE should position him back as that character, more like the swampy type that he was doing, more the cult-like leader, instead of maybe trying the Fiend. But all indications point to the Fiend. So I don't know. It'll be interesting.
The Fiend I think the Fiend's okay because in terms of a character. But again, he became champion and stuff, and Goldberg beat him back when he was Bray Wyatt. I've said this in the chat on Monday, but for me, Bray Wyatt should have beaten Cena at WrestleMania 30. It's just an absolute pain it's just booked wrong, basically.
Well, and I think too, there's a lot to be said with the creative regarding Bray Wyatt. Oh, wait a minute. Health issues, does he have it? It's a mental thing or injury is what Sai's saying. I was reading the comment. Pardon me if I kind of seemed like I was.
Yeah, he's asking, is it health issues or is it a mental health thing? I don't actually know, but I get the feeling it may be a mental health thing, possibly. I don't really know because I can't find anything online to really say 100% that's what it is. All it is some sort of health issue. Dan Griffin saying bringing back his Husky.
Husky Harris, his NXT character. Well, you never know.
Not even the good NXT. It was the bad NXT.
It was the one before, before the black and gold, when they were first, I think, transitioning. Help me understand it, BenNy, out of Florida, when it was Florida wrestling. Was it Florida Champion?
Yeah, FCW. And they did
FCW or something.
Well, they tried to do that NXT thing to, I think they used it to replace ECW.
And when they experimented, that didn't go well.
Yeah, well, they had Ryback was in that NXT group, that Nexus group as well. There weren't many that came out of that. I don't think overly. I mean, Daniel Bryan was there.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan was a
Wade Barrett
important part. Wade Barrett was a good one.
Or make Bray and Bo the new Varsity Club.
The new Varsity Club. That's a call back to WCW. Kevin Sullivan and Rick Steiner and Mike Rotundo. Or Rotunda. I've always wanted to say Rotundo, but it's Rotunda. I believe that, of course, that is Bray Wyatt's dad.
James in the chat here saying, I saw the Royal Rumble 2015. I saw the Royal Rumble 2015 for the first time last week. and Wyatt was brilliant. Dragged me in. Great Rumble performance. He had the whole world in his hands. Yeah, was that the one that ultimately Randy Orton won? Is that the one 2015? I think that is where it looked like.
Been.
Oh, hang on, no. 2015. I think Roman won, and The Rock came out. So maybe 2016. I don't know. Or 2017 was the one where Randy Orton won it. So I'm thinking of the wrong Rumble here. So
no, you're doing better than I can. I've got to be honest, Benny. There were some years until about 2015 that I checked out a little bit. So you would know. You would know more than I would.
Well, I kept my eye on it a little bit because I was watching NXT, and I would do like the bigger pay-per-views at one point, and then there was a time where it was a bit like.
Yeah,
no,
you were
I'm
like,
not watching that.
Yeah, I'm a little burnt out or tired. I'll just be real. We all have our moments where we get a little bit tired of something.
Yeah. Let's try that. A possible return, Randy Orton return. Apparently, his back injury is getting better, according to Kurt Angle on his podcast and stuff like that. Apparently, could Randy Orton return at SummerSlam? People in the chat, would you want Randy Orton to return at SummerSlam? In what capacity? Is he going to team up with Riddle again? Or are we going to see a switch of some kind? I don't know. Tyler, what do you think? What would you like to see out of Randy Orton? Would you like to see that maybe not team as much, but maybe still be friends, maybe, and have that ally?
No, I don't want to see RK Bro back together. I know that's a popular opinion. I want to go against it. I would like to see Randy Orton, if he's going to come back, go against Roman. I want to see him, or at least a bigger kind of championship title picture. I think he's won enough that it wouldn't matter if he's necessarily programmed with a Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins, either one. I'm not saying you don't have the background with Riddle due to what you were just after mentioning there. But I don't – well, I guess I'll take it back a little bit because there's only Drew McIntyre and Riddle, though, going against Imperium. So I guess you could factor him into those plans. So in a way, I do see where he could come back and help Riddle. But I feel like maybe we need to move on past that. That's just me. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I've been known to be more wrong than right. But hey, you asked me, and that's my response.
Tyler, Sai saying in the chat, Tyler, yes, Tyler, Orton versus Roman would be excellent.
No, I agree, Si. I think they would tear the house down, as they used to say. Or maybe they still do. Dan
Griffin saying there has to be a Randy Cody feud in the works. That would be, I think that would make more sense, to be fair.
No, I mean, that one would work too. No, and you're right. There's a lot of history there.
Yeah, it doesn't have to happen straight away, but it definitely could be a really good feud, the whole Randy. Because again, we talked about it before on the show, but there is literally that inbuilt story, isn't there, with Legacy and that whole early era of Cody's career in WWE.
With,
so that
Ted DiBiase Jr. Wasn't he the other member of Legacy?
Yes, he was. Wait, yes, I was getting confused with the Tyson Fury and Davey Boy Smith's boy being.
I got you.
Yeah, I was getting confused then. But yeah, no. I always like that finish that Ted DiBiase Jr. did with the $1 Million Dream into that like slam that he did.
I do too. It was a tribute to his dad, but
yes,
he did his own finisher, adding the other variation to it.
I like that variation. I thought it was really good. So, but yeah, it would make sense for Orton, even if he necessarily can't wrestle fully. It would be cool to see him back on the show and hear that.
Maybe make him a special attraction then. If he can't wrestle full time, just bring him back for certain moments.
I think Randy Orton could do that if they presented him a way, maybe the vicious voices in his head Orton we had, or an evolution of that, but no pun intended there. But just a case of having him back as an attraction could be really good. Excuse me.
No, it's hard not to argue. Maybe keep him special.
Yeah, Dan Griffin in the chat. Randy comes back to back up Cody as he goes for Roman again, possibly at WrestleMania. Cody is so close to finishing the story. Randy screws Cody. Fans cry again. Yeah.
Hey, wouldn't that be something that would get the fans upset? Because remember the reaction this past WrestleMania when Cody didn't supposedly finish the story against Roman and Reigns still went over.
Yeah, man. Again, I don't see anything wrong with it. We got to build up to it, I think, because if you think Cody only had several matches, and then he was off for a bit because of the torn pec and everything. So why not build it up? Why? And I can even see down the line, maybe a Survivor Series, maybe that Seth and Cody go at it again, but for the world title. But maybe we have that cash in with Damian Priest, and then that screws Cody of yet another title. But because again, nothing against the World Heavyweight title, I'm actually quite liking the bout at the moment. But it needs to be Roman, because the bout that his dad did not win is the bout that in Roman's possession now. So it makes more sense. But again, like I said, things change. I know Dan's not really a fan of Cody Rhodes here in the chat. So
yeah, that seems to be a popular theme among all the SJP World Media podcasts. Dan Griffin is not a proponent of the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. I have started figuring that out quickly. Which
well,
it's not. No, go ahead. I was just going to quickly say, even for people who are not fans of Cody, I have just admired his work ethic, how he's got over with the WWE audience, and it doesn't need to be Roman, a Facebook user. I don't know
Facebook user, you need to, I believe you need to allow the thing in order for your name, or put your name at the end of your comment so we know who you are, because I don't know who
yeah,
you are.
because it's important. We want to know who you are. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and that's true. It doesn't necessarily have to be Roman. It could be like you're saying, Benny, against Seth Rollins, if he's still retaining the World Heavyweight title, the cash in with Damian Priest, all that factors in. So, I mean, you got to start thinking in terms of whoever's going to benefit Damian Priest, too, if he's going to cash in. But we're going to get into all of this because it played out on Raw, too. So all these shows.
I like it these days with WWE TV in general, because it reminds me of when I first started watching it back in about 2000, that not everything, and not everything has to be, but there are a lot of things these days in the last year or so that intertwine with each other from storylines. Whereas there was a big section of WWE TV where that was not a thing.
It makes sense.
Yeah, you'd watch that match, and that would be sort of that's that bit there, and that's that story. Then you move on to the next one, and that's that bit, and that's that story. Sometimes you might have something that happened in the first match overlap into the main event, but nothing in between. Whereas nowadays, I feel like there's a lot more linked
cohesiveness.
Well, just linked in, not even cohesiveness is a good word, and it is a lot more cohesive most of the time now. It makes things don't just disappear out of nowhere. I think Well, we're going to talk about it next, actually, in terms of Tommaso Ciampa. I was about to say about Tommaso Ciampa possibly DIY and stuff. Miz and Bronson Reed teaming up this week. Miz actually getting a win for the first time in probably about 3 months.
Yeah, he finally broke a streak. Finally got the W, did Miz, the A-lister, and I do like the potential of Miz and Bronson Reed. Here was what I was telling Benny off air on the our private chat is when it was correlating with this situation between Miz and Ciampa, is that remember when Ciampa was with Miz, and the whole backstory has been, well, Miz never checked up on Ciampa, so that's why Ciampa came out and answered the open challenge. Well, now Bronson Reed, it looks like he's just going to take Ciampa's place and be kind of that muscle, that henchman type personality. So that's all I would add. You could just see where maybe they're reversing roles, but I like it. I think it's intriguing, Bronson Reed and Miz aligning together.
I don't know if Bronson Reed necessarily needs Miz. Maybe we could have a segment where he's like, "Oh, you did really well last week against Ciampa or whatever," and his Bronson Reed just turns around and says, "As long as you keep paying me." That's all he needs to say, because
just needs a payday.
Just needs a payday. So, because Bronson Reed at the moment, I'm not quite there, like fully. Maybe like when Solo Sikoa's music comes on, stuff's going down, is what I mean. But with Bronson Reed, yes, I've got that vibe with him. You think this is going to be a pretty good match, and he's going to beat somebody up. Basically, is what I'm getting at. But I don't know. It would be good to just have that little moment of just like Miz has no friends. He just pays people to be his friends, which is a common theme over the years.
It would be sensible due to how Miz's character is, how his personality. He's looking to be conniving, and what better way than to pay off people to help you get to victories or do jobs for you. And I don't mean that in terms of wrestling, but literally just to whether to beat somebody up or get involved like Bronson Reed did with his match in Ciampa or with Ciampa. Gosh, I've got to correct myself a lot. I can't speak English.
If I put you off, I've come back and you were used to Sai last week, and I've put you off. Basically, is what's going on.
No, you've not done anything. It's me. It's just one of those weeks. Oh my goodness.
Pardon me. Well, I wonder if it was Matt Lewis in the Facebook chat a minute ago, because Cody doesn't need to beat Roman; he just needs to win the bout.
It could have been.
Very true, but I think it would mean a lot more if he beats Roman, based on Roman's run, the length of time he's had the bout. You are right; he doesn't necessarily need to beat Roman, but then who does? I think it needs to be that bout for me. It needs to be that undisputed Universal WWE Championship, because that's the bout his father never held. I know he got the WWE, well, it's just known as the World Heavyweight title, isn't it, on Raw? So,
yeah,
you got a point there, Matt. To be fair, it doesn't necessarily, but I think it will mean a lot more. It's a great point, but I just think it would mean a lot more if Cody beat Roman.
And I don't feel like necessarily it. I'm going to play devil's advocate. Does it have to be Roman holding that title?
I think that's what Matt's getting at. He's basically saying, doesn't necessarily need to be.
Yeah,
Roman,
that's what he was saying.
Yeah.
My goodness, Matt, help me out. Goodness gracious.
I think you might. Again, I can't disagree with you, Matt. To be fair, Matt, I don't think so. I think Jay beating Roman is a bigger story. Again, things could change.
There's an argument to be made.
Yeah,
Matt's
absolutely.
bringing up some very valid points. He's helping me out because he brought up the point, and we've said, haven't we, since we started this, that the story is about Jay and Roman. Does that bout need to be involved? You could probably have Roman. I think Jay actually beats. I think Matt might be right, but the way it all seems like it's playing out, again, we could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, and is SummerSlam Jey Uso's time? That would be a freaking. Can you imagine the pop? Can you imagine how big of a deal it is? Because it's a big deal that Roman got pinned at Money in the Bank. So yeah, no, I agree. I think, to me, Solo even beating Roman.
Yeah.
Not even Cody getting involved. No disrespect to him or Jey Uso or Jimmy. I mean, some of those other options you have to look at too.
It's a fair point, actually. We've been spending this whole time thinking that Cody's going to do it, but actually somebody from the bloodline to do it could be very interesting. In terms of the bloodline, I know we're talking about Miz and Bronson Reed. We've ended up back onto this, but could you see Paul Heyman maybe getting behind maybe a Solo Sikoa and almost like turning on Roman, and with Solo as his next sort of...
I could see speaking of The Price is Right, I don't mean just a game show. I mean, literally, I know that's where people are going to go.
Yeah. Tyler Barker.
I like Bob Barker. I loved his appearance in Happy Gilmore. What is this show turning into? It's my fault. But anyways, I think if Paul Heyman sees, hey, I've got a future with this guy, and it would really help elevate Solo if he had Heyman, and they would turn on Roman, because think about the heights that Roman's character has got. So to me, that would, if you're going to be establishing new talent, and especially Solo, not that he's not established, especially now, for crying out loud, but it would just further assist his journey.
Yeah, 100%. Let's move on to another group who are having some issues. My picks at Money in the Bank, I was torn between LA Knight. I wanted LA Knight to win, but I thought maybe Damian Priest. I think it's in my blog that I put out.
Which was a fantastic blog. Check it out. Benny wrote a nice blog before he went on vacation. I read it.
Well, hopefully you're going to do a bit more of that when I get a chance. If I can't necessarily do something like this, I can talk about it in word form, so it's all good. But
yeah, we can.
In terms of story, Matt just made a good point with story. Then it's a bloody good, valid point about it being Jay or Solo. It doesn't even have to be Cody. So he's right. As long as Cody finishes the story, I suppose. But again, like I said, anybody beating Roman, whoever it's going to be, it will just to the moon, as they say. So.
And you need Cameron Grimes. I mean,
I can't do the accent. I'm not even going to.
No, don't worry about it. You don't have to do the accent. That's who I think of. But no, it's true. It would rocket him to another dimension if you could even use it, because the way Roman Reigns, like we're discussing, he's just on another level. I mean, it's really remarkable what he's been able to do.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of Judgment Day, then. Finn Balor, I thought Finn Balor had a valid story. It's been 7 years in the making with the whole first Universal title and all that kind of stuff. But Damian Priest saying he wasn't going to cash in and kind of distracting Finn, and then we've had the same thing the week after on Raw and stuff. When the Damian Priest looked like he was going to cash in on Seth. It's going to end up. I don't know whether we're going to have a Finn versus Damian for the Money in the Bank briefcase, or whether maybe Damian does cash in on Finn, or maybe it looks like Finn's going to beat Seth and Damian cash in, so we have like a triple threat. There's so many options with this. Again,
there's so many options with the possible imploding of Judgment Day, not just Bloodline. I mean, now they're kind of doing, even though it's two different stories and factions, they're kind of doing similar things with this. So it makes you wonder.
I mean, I read a rumor thing a while back. I think it was before WrestleMania, that according to this person online, there was a lot of talk about making Finn a babyface again, and possibly maybe that's what's happening here. But I quite like Finn as a although even though based on that story we just had, I found myself more in the corner of Finn. No pun intended there either.
In the corner. I've heard that's a great podcast.
It can be sometimes. Normally when I'm on holiday, to be fair.
No, I don't believe that.
I believe it. So yeah, but when are they going to implode? Are we going to have? I don't think the whole group's going to implode, but somebody's going to be leaving Judgment Day. I feel maybe sometime after SummerSlam, maybe during SummerSlam. Obviously we got the JD Madonna is there with Finn.
Yeah, JD Madonna, or however you say his name. My goodness, I can't even. I'm really on one right now. It just keeps going, doesn't it? So it's going to be, a comedy show on my end before it's over. But anyways, do you feel like it's going to be Damian Priest being the baby face, or maybe does he need to stay heel and maybe, like you're saying, with Finn Balor? Because that's interesting, what you just mentioned.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I feel Damian Priest has done obviously, I think most people do a lot better when they're heels, but I think it's worked better for Damian to be a heel. Finn can, but I kind of like Finn as a heel, but the fact that I'm liking him as a heel, he maybe already be a babyface, and he's not the white meat, come here and fight me babyface, but I think we could I think there'd be more sympathy for Finn, and also if Damian does cash in on Finn or causes Finn to lose again against Seth. I don't know what's happening with the world title. I'm assuming we're going to have Finn versus Seth, maybe, or maybe
that's the presumption. Could be maybe. Do you have a triple threat? But I don't see that happening. I thought that originally, but how is Damian going to cash in? And will he cash in? Would be another question if it's Finn Balor, because you're right. He kind of teased, well, everything's okay right now, but we've still got time before SummerSlam. And even Finn called it, like you were saying before, with that look, the expression, the way Damian worded it. I mean, that was a good moment. You just helped relate to everybody, including myself, that helped me remember, hey, wait a minute, there's still that little bit of distrust among the group.
Yeah. Matt Lewis in the match, just going back to Roman. And so Rock versus Roman at Mania 40 is what's going to happen. Cody versus Priest at Mania. Jay beats Roman at SummerSlam. Solo turns on him, and then Priest will cash in on Jay once Finn has beaten Priest. Once Finn has beaten Priest online. Okay. He's booking the territory. He's fair enough, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, it's all pretty fascinating.
I'd love to see Rock versus Roman. I know it probably won't be maybe the best match ever. It might be like a Rock Hogan type thing, but just see Rock back would be pretty good. I don't know whether, Rock's in good shape. Is he in ring shape? I don't know. He's in better shape than fucking most of us, to be fair.
He's a lot better shape than I think
his right arm alone is.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's fair to speak about The Rock could still come in and do some damage. Oh, Baby Steiner, you must be talking about Braun Breaker.
Yeah, so Sai in the chat says the chance now to make a new star by whoever beats Roman is such an opportunity. Solo or even Baby Steiner. Babby, yeah, and he corrects himself.
Yeah, Babby. I was wondering, wait a minute, is it Bambi or what? What's going on?
Steiner, baby.
Yeah,
So,
there you go.
I
Hey,
don't know.
Braun, I do like Braun Breaker. I mean, he keeps growing on you, not just because of Steiner DNA, but this guy's got all of it, the intangibles. I mean,
Don't worry about it, Matt. We know. We're it's all a good laugh. Don't worry about it. We try and book.
We try. Yeah, we love the comments, Matt. So yeah, thanks for checking out the show.
So yeah, I mean, again, like sort of Sai just said in the chat as well, but as I said earlier, whoever beats Roman is going to be, to the moon. I don't know, cash in.
It's going to help them. I
maybe?
mean, if they get a win, yeah, the cash in.
I mean, in theory, like we could have Finn beat Seth eventually for the World Heavyweight title, and we could have Damon cash in for that bout that Roman has. Because the amount of enemies that are starting to come out of the woodwork on Roman in terms of his own family, we could end up having a fatal four-way with the whole bloodline: Jimmy, Jay, Solo, Roman. We could again. There's so much that can be done with this.
I mean, we could, and while I kind of waited, there's a little background, so I kind of muted my mic on purpose. But so if you see me, all of a sudden being a little awkward, sometimes it may be tech issues. I'll just be honest with everyone. But yeah, I think it's a possibility.
Yeah, sorry in the chat. Sorry, in terms of Rock versus Roman, if that match happened, it's huge. If Roman has to beat Rock, though, is what Sai's saying on that one. So if that happens, the more and more I think about it, we've been conditioned for so long to think, yes, it's going to be Cody and Roman. Again, anything
does it have to be? I think that's always been kind of the way I've looked at it too, and maybe you have too, Benny. Because I'm trying to remember back when this was the big, discussion. I think it would be before WrestleMania when Cody first and this whole Roman storyline began after Royal Rumble, maybe even before. Does it have to actually occur for it? Because it's not going to really hurt Cody or Roman. I mean, other than finishing his story, but does it necessarily have to culminate?
Oh, we've lost Tyler, unfortunately. We'll keep muddling on, I guess, for the moment until he can return. But there we go. The weather and stuff over here is not the best either. Hopefully, once he's back and running, he'll give me a wave so I know you're there, mate, and we'll get you back in. But yeah, I think he might be back in. Are you back, Tyler? He is not back. Okay, right. We're gonna go solo, no pun intended here for the moment. Every time I bring you back in, mate, there you are. There he is. You gotta love technology sometimes. You really have.
And there I go a little bit. So I don't know if it's. I mean, it's pretty right now. It's what's crazy. That's what I mean. Technology sometimes it's your enemy, it's your friend.
Sometimes,
yeah. So my apologies to everyone. It just happens. I mean, maybe I'm not meant to be on here all the time. I don't know.
You upset the tribal chief, man.
Maybe I did. Maybe I upset Roman. I've upset WWE. I don't know. Who did I make mad this week? Oh my God.
You were saying about Roman, and it doesn't have to be. I think you were saying about Roman, it doesn't necessarily have to be.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be him. Yeah, Cody to beat him, and it doesn't mean it's got to be Cody finishing the story. I was just saying as part of the puzzle, so to speak. I was kind of putting it in those terms. That's all I'm trying to come at it with, is just a different perspective, like anybody. With regards to this whole Cody Rhodes, whether he needs to beat Roman, have the triumph, whether that needs to be why he finishes Dusty's story. I get it's the same title, so to speak, but I don't know. To me, it's not going to hurt these guys. I mean, eventually they could still do it. Maybe it's WrestleMania 40 they do it, like a lot of people presume. Maybe it's a rematch. Doesn't mean I'm not for it. We're always trying to see what other viewpoints. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I hadn't really thought about. I mean, I thought maybe Jay is going to be the guy to beat Roman, but because of the whole Cody thing, I didn't think, maybe that's not going to happen. But Jay can still beat Roman at SummerSlam, but not leave with the title. So there is depending on the match, because we don't know, because we know he's been challenged. We don't know what a match is going to happen. Assuming it's a singles match and a standard contest, Jay can win by Roman get himself disqualified and leave that asterisk over Jay, because Jay almost beat him in a one-on-one.
Where it probably doesn't hurt Jay if it's a disqualification.
Yeah, so he can still win, but what I'm saying is Roman can still leave with the title via the DQ options, So, but anyway, let's move on past the bloodline as much as we try to.
And it's hard not to talk about it. I get what you're saying, Benny. We definitely think everything else is important, but this is just a significant storyline going on. So you can't help but discuss it.
Yeah, definitely. Drew, I mean, this hasn't been announced. It's not even been. It's been nudged at. It's been winked at since he's been back. It's cool to see Drew McIntyre back. It was great. I did not expect him to be at Money in the Bank, to be honest, because there's so many rumors about his contract, whether he was going to come back, where he, and stuff going on in his family. Same with John Cena. Like, I didn't expect John Cena's music to hit at Money in the Bank. I had flashbacks.
I did not. I mean, I was shocked like anybody else.
But yeah, Drew McIntyre looks, he always looks freaking good, mate.
Oh my God. Me and Cy talked about it last week. If I was built like him, I'd be comfortable taking my shirt off because that guy looks like a Greek god. And no wonder women are shouting, take your top off. See, that would be great. I would love that. But, he can get away with that. That's what I'm saying. I respect him. I'm a big fan of Drew McIntyre, but I get why the ladies love him. I got to admit, he's well, I better quit. I'm digging a hole here. But, what I'm saying, I'm a fan. What the heck is going on? I think me and Cy talked about it last week, and it's all flooding back to my memory, and I don't know how to kind of describe it, so I'm throwing myself off. Yeah.
Fair enough. But it's nowhere being it. We're putting an assumption in here that we're going to see Gunther versus Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam, assuming for the Intercontinental Championship. Maybe there could be a triple threat with Matt Riddle. I don't know. We've kind of seen Drew in that with Sheamus at Mania. But
I kind of hope we don't. Nothing against Riddle, but I just want to see Gunther versus Drew one-on-one.
Yeah, it would be good. To be honest, mate, I think either one of the matches would be really good, but I definitely want to see Drew.
Yeah, it's taking nothing away from Riddle's ability. I think for me, I'm kind of going more traditional where I don't want to necessarily see anybody else added. I would rather see Drew versus Gunther just one-on-one.
But to be fair, up until until Drew returned, it looked to me like Matt Riddle was going to be the next to challenge Gunther because the way everything was going on. But yeah, again, we're asking the question: is it going to happen? I think we're probably 80% there that it is going to happen. Drew and
I've got a strong feeling it will. Just the way they're doing Raw and what we're seeing, and going back to Money in the Bank, how he came out.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I think it could be a good match. Maybe not a singles, maybe something with a bit of a stipulation to it would be good, maybe. But then you don't get you still get the chops and everything that you want to get from Gunther. Something happened on Raw, obviously, for those who didn't watch it. But one of the members of Imperium was kind of left out after he took the pinfall.
Yeah, I mean, he was. That was a big story.
Giovanni Vinci, as I can remember his name for a second, was kind of left like Gunther was not happy with him for taking the pinfall. Ludwig Kaiser even snubbed him and walked out. So I kind of don't want Imperium to break up at this point, but maybe again we are starting to see. We've seen all these factions kind of come up, and now we're starting to see them kind of
decline.
Like an issue and a problem. And I mean, we had Judgment Day, in fairness, weathered a very back to them quickly. They did weather a bit of a storm initially, especially when Edge was kicked out of the group. A lot of people thought
they did, because at first a lot of people were worried, like, how are they going to survive? And they proved everybody wrong, even if it wasn't, regardless of creative.
I would say in terms of factions, you can't argue. It's not even an argument in terms of who's number one. But even though they're imploding themselves at the minute, but the Bloodline has been the go-to faction.
Oh, they've got to be number one with all due respect to the others.
Yeah. I'm going to say, I mean, the chat might disagree with me, but I'm going to say Judgment Day is number 2 and Imperium number 3. But that could change based on your opinion. Obviously, they could all chase on your opinion. But I would say on SmackDown, I was kind of hoping we might have seen Imperium kind of take on Bloodline, but obviously that's 2 heel factions, so it wouldn't really work that way. And at the moment, we're not going to necessarily see Judgment Day versus Imperium either, because again, both heel factions. But
so it kind of puts you in a tough spot, even though it's not like it's been too uncommon to do. But at this point in time, it would be you'd be perplexed to kind of do that, I guess.
I don't dislike the LWO on SmackDown, but they are very much like
Well, yeah, and it's their presentation. I get what you're saying. I don't know that they necessarily fit with that. I can believe them actually dethroning a Bloodline, a Imperium, or a Judgment Day, and that's nothing against Rey Mysterio or the talent they have.
No, or even the LWO concept
itself. Going back to the old WCW idea.
But I kind of liked the Legado del Fantasma thing they were doing. They was just starting to build up a heel faction, but I guess they needed to counteract it with a couple of face factions.
I think they got so many heel factions. They probably did. They probably needed to turn them babyface. Yeah.
So the question is: do we think Gunther versus Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam? I think it's almost.
I think it's gonna happen. Gotta happen. Gonna happen. Whatever. Whatever I was trying to say.
Man. Moving on to Raw a bit more. Zoe Stark actually defeated Becky Lynch. It wasn't necessarily clean, but what's next? Because we got Trish walking around with a broken nose or whatever's going on with a Hannibal Lecter mask she's got on.
Right. But man, she still can pull it off and still look beautiful. So credit to Trish, even with the face mask. I mean, I got to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. But in terms of the story between Trish and Becky, I feel like it's fizzled, mate. I mean, Zoe Stark's added a bit of fresh thing to it, but I think overall, I'm not overly brought into the Becky Trish rivalry at all, really.
I still think we'll get that rubber match with them as well, because just to finish it out, probably to finish the storyline. Zoe Stark, I'll tell you, I knew she was talented. I did enjoy this match. It makes me very hopeful for more matches with some of the other big stars as well that Zoe will have. And I think it's good that for her and Trish to pair up. You almost wonder, when is it time for Trish to leave? I don't see her staying around for too much longer past SummerSlam. So is Zoe going to end up turning on her? I mean, as much as I'd hate it, because I'm just now getting into the idea of those two together, because eventually Zoe's going to have to go out on her own. So that's intriguing to me. But I will say the match was good. I'm kind of getting tired of the Stratus Becky Lynch stuff, even though they've tried it. It's like, I'm ready for the third match to just finish the story. Speaking of that, and I thought it was it made sense though from a heel point of view to have Trish help Zoe, and that makes Becky that much more determined to beat Trish and get revenge on Zoe. So that's what I kind of looked at from a psychology standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, I've not been taken in by it.
But no, I understand what you mean. Yeah. It's not like I don't know what it is. It's they've tried to do promos between them, and it's like even with Trish on the mic, it is something's missed. And I think we've spoken about it on numerous occasions, whether it's times as well, but. It's lacked something. I don't know. Luster is the right word. I don't know how you would depict it. It's not been just must see. Where even with somebody like Becky Lynch or Trish Stratus or new talent like Zoe Stark, and it's no offense to them, they're doing their absolute best. I just got done putting over the match. I'm just saying from a storyline point of view.
Yeah, it hasn't grabbed me. Zoe Stark in the ring is actually really good. I'm actually looking forward to what she does going forward.
I'm very impressed with what she's been able to do.
I mean, talking about people turning on people like Shayna Baszler at Money in the Bank, I didn't see that coming at all. Now, when they put them back together and made them tag team champions, like, right, here we go. We can build the women's tag team division. They've unified the titles with the NXT and stuff. But I was expecting this eventually, but obviously SummerSlam's come in. So I guess that's what makes sense.
That's why they rushed it a little bit, probably. Yeah.
It does feel rushed. You're 100%.
And with Ronda, I think commenting this is probably be it for her, that there's aspirations to probably go to UFC again. So maybe that's it.
Maybe so. I did read that as well, that apparently she wants to possibly go back to UFC.
I mean, I don't know.
In terms of stipulations, I never thought about this until literally right this second. But you could do Ronda versus Shayna in a fight pit match, because that would fit right into that
concept. Would make sense, but due to their backgrounds and the way they could work a wrestling match too, they could.
Shayna Baszler, I've rated since she came into NXT. I like the Ace of Spades, the Queen of Spades thing she does. Not the Ace. Yeah, it's Queen of Spades, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Queen of Spades. Yeah. No, you're correct.
Yeah, what am I on about? I'm thinking of the Motorhead song. I enjoyed her work in NXT. When she came up to the main roster, again, didn't quite. She's managed to hang on
didn't click, but finally, I think maybe, and I also heard too, and you never know if it's always factual, but Triple H was trying to finish up some certain storylines. So you wonder if we that's what I mean by be patient, because he had to finish out Pride Creative, and with certain people, he's able to. We're seeing just that with like Shayna Baszler. Now she's reverted back and Ciampa to their old NXT days, because I think why fix something when it wasn't broken? I mean,
yeah, definitely. But yeah, Shayna Baszler, I've been a massive fan. In fact, when we used to do our GM mode stuff on the gaming channel, Shayna Baszler was one of the first women I used to pick for my women's division. Yeah, I just liked her, and I love that arm thing she does, where they put their arm on the mat. And
oh my goodness, it makes me cringe. It's like the Pete Dunne effect with the fingers. The same effect when she's doing the arm. I mean, there's a lot of parallels. Oh yeah. Oh, there's the visual if you're watching live.
I didn't mean to flip you off.
No, I see what happens. You're like, well, he's going to screw up this show, sabotaging me. I'll show him. No, I'm just teasing.
Sorry to chat there. Yes, BenNy Baszler is awesome. Yeah, no, Shayna Baszler, I think, is maker that. I mean, I wasn't too keen on her hoodie with the thing on. It didn't look quite right on her, but. No. Her in the ring, I think she's freaking amazing.
And her promos when she's able to have the platform, that one on Rousey from the week before, that was very good. It was.
So you kind of put in that ring work with the promo, and then it'll come together, and it'll be if Ronda's on her way out, fine.
I think also that Shayna Baszler, this will be her opportunity to chase for a title.
Yes, finally. She's overdue for that, because she was a great NXT Women's Champion.
Oh, she was so dominant. I mean, the way she was presented was appropriate, because
that's how she needs to be now. That's
how absolutely.
She needs to be that fighter, that not a Brock Lesnar or a Ronda Rousey, a Shayna Baszler, but come out and do those things she used to do for impact, for emphasis, and be really good.
Because the credibility, like you said, with Lesnar, Rousey, and her, even though they're all three different, is there. I mean, it's present.
I'd love to see that Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler match in a fight pit. Why not?
They could do it at SummerSlam, because
absolutely,
yeah, certainly that's probably what's going to take place at SummerSlam, is Baszler or Rousey.
Well, hopefully so, and I hope it's not. I mean, they might go down the road to the submission match because of their background, I guess.
Oh, but, the submission match concept.
Maybe not even a fight pit match. You could still have a steel cage. Just have the cage around them, because of obviously there's going to be the nod towards UFC because it's bloody Ronda Rousey. So why not play into it?
And why not? Yeah, because prior that she had her success with the UFC, and Shayna Baszler, I think had some chances with MMA. I don't know if it was quite the UFC. I'd have to read up on it some more, but definitely came from the same kind of shoot background. And now shoot background can mean different things, because you've got it not only in UFC, but also with the wrestling too. So some of them have that too, and the judo for Rousey. And you think about Jean LaBelle and Billy Robinson, who is from the UK, legendary wrestler, I think trained Shayna, and he was the guy that would teach him manipulate those joints, and she does it. Almost, I mean, it's perfect to where we're cringing. So that
I mean, you've got the knowledge of the past. I've got the knowledge of the present. So
no, you've got great knowledge. I just I'm reading about it too, like anybody. I'm Googling it because I'm a nerd myself. I want to know more about them. I'm probably they're thinking I'm nuts because it sounds like I'm stalking them. No, it's just that I love knowing their background.
Yes, yeah, okie dokie. No, it's good to have you, because some of the older stuff I don't know, because I was not a fan of WWF until 2000. So my knowledge. Yes, I've gone back and watched old tapes and stuff, and Hell in a Cells and all that kind of stuff. But even older than that, I know of people, I know names, but I don't necessarily know the stories. Imagine if Baszler just squashes Rousey at SummerSlam in less than a minute. That's a way to put her over on Rousey's way out. Yeah.
I mean, and they might do it. That's not a bad way, because if it's going to be Rousey's last match, then I would think you'd put Shayna over.
It makes sense to me, 100%. We'll see how it plays out, but I'd love to see them in a cage or a fight pit. Like I said, I think that makes perfect sense for the style that these two can bring. Because we had it with Matt Riddle and Seth, last in Extreme Rules.
It was Extreme Rules, and then they've done it at NXT before it changed.
Yes, yeah, definitely, yeah. So what I mean by that is we had that Matt Riddle's got that MMA vibe about him because he was an Ultimate Fighter, wasn't he, as well?
I think so. Yeah.
So quite he was one of these, yeah. So, and Seth, Seth's a good wrestler. So, but what I mean is you've now got these two people that are submission specialists to a degree, wrestling. I mean, they did a really good on Raw. They had that scrap on Raw, but it wasn't punching each other. It was
takedowns and
submissions, and it was. We don't get enough of that now.
See, and I like that when you can work it into a wrestling style like those two can. That is something I will say that I underappreciate about Rousey and some of these MMA type, and like what Riddle can bring. That makes sense because even in amateur wrestling, you would see a lot of what they call the shooters come in, like the Briscoes, and a lot of people don't realize, and maybe a lot do, how tough really Jack and Gerald Briscoe were. They could really stretch you. I mean, and of course they worked it into a wrestling style, but as far as amateur, doing that.
I love watching it. I know it wasn't the best segment on Raw necessarily in terms of crowd response, but I love the fact they were rolling around, and then Ronda
I did too,
and then Baszler had her, and then Baszler rolled out the ring, and it was just
she knew how to escape because you notice how the urgency of getting to the ropes. I always love that. That's all part of the story too, because like you said, their backgrounds and making this more personal. Eventually, Shayna is going to have to avenge taking the big knee. That was that big moment last week.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's not because it's been rushed. I was like, really? You're doing this now? But the more we've just talked about it now, Tyler, I'm actually become
it's made me more excited. Yeah, absolutely. We were thinking the same thing.
Yeah, so it was. It's been really good to. It's always good to chat. It says wrestling on the poster.
And let's be fair, just because Rousey may not be the biggest. Or the more popular, maybe that's the word I should have used among fans sometimes for the things she says. A lot of times she can back it up though in that ring, and that's what I mean. That's why I think, and I'm not saying fans don't realize it. It's just that with Shayna Baszler, these are the right dance partners, like you're saying, that can put together some magic in a normal match. But hey, I wouldn't mind a stipulation, fight pit, submission match, however the WWE wants to do it. Ultimately, it's their call, of course. But
ultimately,
Ultimate Fighter. Did you like that Ultimate Warrior? Hey, that could work. Yeah, pretty good. I'm not the wordsmith I hoped I aspired to be, as you can tell. I messed that up, but no, it's good. What was Sai saying before I
Sai in the chat says wrestling. It says wrestling on the poster. Not a fan of the too much punchy, kicky bullshit. It has its place, but yeah, you're right. I also with commentary. I love the people on commentary. I love Mike Cole's enthusiasm, Pat McAfee. I don't mind Corey Graves. I preferred Corey Graves with Mauro Ranallo back in NXT. That team worked really well.
Yeah, Mauro was excitable.
Mauro Ranallo was like,
he was
never going to replace. You're never going to replace JR. And I'm not saying he would replace JR, and nobody should replace JR. But what I'm saying is Mauro Ranallo was the closest. For me, because you had Mauro Ranallo who had that boxing sports.
No, he did, and he was involved in wrestling. I think prior. I researched it.
But then you had the Corey Graves who was a wrestler like the King. So that was the closest for me personally. I'm probably get torn apart in the chat now, but that was the closest for me personally. But Mauro Ranallo, when he'd say the certain words and they'd call the moves, which we're lacking on the main roster, and NXT at one point used to call the moves. And they go punch, kick, punch. Oh, he's down. Okay, he just did a DDT. Can you not just say DDT? I know they do. They're saying it a bit more and more now, but we still have that thing of they don't call the moves anymore. And I used to know all the names. I still,
which I get. They want to get the story over because I didn't often think about that either. Learning, but I get what you're saying. You still got to call certain moves because I mean it's right there.
It's supposed to be a sports simulation fight.
It is, yeah. Even though I know it's got entertainment value, it's still got the sports presentation. Yeah.
Even in boxing, they'll say a right hook or an uppercut or a haymaker or that's the only punches I know from
like
boxing.
Where the play-by-play, like you're saying with Mauro, Corey Graves, like Lawler, and like a lot of the former talent would do your color commentary where they could explain it. Yeah.
So it made sense to me. I liked the team of Michael Cole and Taz back in the day. Again,
I thought they were good.
Yeah, not a candle to JR and King, obviously, but still good. So
yeah, I mean, and like anybody, the more they built their chemistry together, I don't care how good you are, the more it, you could tell it was clicking. I mean, it's like with anybody. I mean, because we're all human.
Yeah, there you go. You got to have that.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I know we put everybody on a pedestal, and rightfully so, especially a Jim Ross or a Morrow or a Michael Cole, and all these other guys we mentioned. But we have to realize, even as good as they are, they had to build chemistry as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Sai's chiming in again. So
yeah, Sai in the chat. Morrow was unique, and that's what set him aside for me. Really enjoyed him on commentary. Wasn't cookie cutter WWE style. Need to stop being crazy excited Henderson at the time, though. Yeah, all right. Maybe he did go a bit over the top, but generally, I love that enthusiasm from him. And
it's what made him in a way, even if people were, had their opinions like Sai. And I can agree, because even being a fan, when you're learning commentary, I started kind of understanding that, because I would get a little bit excited and I go, well, wait a minute. Now going back, I probably could have watched that a little bit, not compare myself to these people. I'm just saying, even learning it,
I'd love to do some more commentary. I mean,
I would too. You and Sai, I would love to hear you guys together. I
Have
think
we not put that out yet? We'd have to try and put that out somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
The problem with it, mate, was when we did it for Evolution, and it's not Evolution's fault, but the guy that did the editing, no, and I'm not trying to have a go at him, but he didn't counteract the sound, so we were really quiet. And I thought that particular night we inside did. Don't get me wrong, mate. I was the color guy. I was the heel, so I just reacted to Sai. Basically, did a little bit of research, but Sai did a lot more of it than I did, and I really enjoyed working with him. I'm not kissing up to him because he's SGP World Media Manager, but or anything like that. But I really enjoyed working with him that night. It was really nerve-wracking. I think we were both really nervous, but we did it. And there was a bit where I think it was the middleweight championship essentially. And I can't remember his name, so I'll have to correct me in the chat. But
no, you're all right.
I have to be the heel. So in that moment, when the good guy won, I shut up and let Sai do the delivering of he's won the match. I can't remember what Sai said. I don't remember what Sai said, but I remember being in that moment with him, and then he just absolutely fucking nailed it. And I remember putting my fist out, and he fist bumped. We just fist bumped. I was like, "Fucking, you've nailed that, mate!" Because as the bad guy, I went, no, he's won. The good guy's won, but I left it to the good guy commentator to build,
build him up.
But all I did was we did a little bit of a fist bump on the thing. But yeah, no, it was really good. It was really good fun.
Well, no, and it's kind of neat to talk about commentary, because you guys have experienced it inside chiming in. Because I don't mean to overtalk comments here. I was just going to briefly say. That's the thing. You start really understanding, and I'm not even putting myself at the level of a lot of commentators. I'm not either, because a lot of them went to journalist school and really had all their stuff together. I'm just saying, you do pick up on things. Oh, Charlie says hello, by the way. Yeah, hey, Charlie. Yeah.
Is it Charlie the chicken, or is it Charlie?
Either one, yeah.
There was a chicken on there. Was it Charlie? I think it was on Chain Wrestling. It was quite funny. No, you're welcome, Si. Thank you. Saying thank you so much for what I just said. No, it's true.
We appreciate you, my friend.
I don't remember what he said in that moment when that fellow won the middleweight championship. But the way Si delivered it was just, for me,
just that delivery.
I just felt it in that moment, and I was for that moment where I come off the mic and didn't say anything, but to let Si be the good guy commentator. When again, like I said, I can't remember to this day what he said. I felt it in that moment, and I kind of, I'm smiling that this lad has worked hard and he's become the middleweight champion. I think it's called the middleweight championship. It's a shame that, it was.
I named the chicken
after Charlie. Yeah. So Pogfather Mags. Anyway, let's get on to WWE. We've only got one more. We've got two more to talk about. This is one I want to talk about quickly. Ricochet and Logan Paul come face to face. I'm not going to take the lead on this one. I'm going to let you do it because I want to see what you think first. So what did you think of this Ricochet Logan Paul interaction on Raw?
I actually enjoyed it. I was worried it was going to maybe be a little phony just due to how Logan Paul carries himself. Not that he's not talented, for those who are going to probably come at me for saying it. I thought, the only problem is I like that Ricochet and Logan Paul engaged each other, and the jump's impressive. And I do get why you had to put something in there pretty spectacular. And I even wowed at it too, because Ricochet's amazing. And so is Logan Paul, both tremendous athletes. And due to the promo, I get it now. It's just, to me, even though I found myself having fun with it, it came out a little too hokey for me. I was
wondering where you're going with it, but
even though, because I had to take myself back away from just going ooh and ah, over, and then Logan Paul. It wasn't that it was terrible. It was just sometimes with these kind of segments, and Ricochet's never been a strong promo guy. It's no disrespect to him. I'm not a strong promo guy. I wouldn't know how to do it. So I'll take a shot at myself. It's just that we know what he can do in the ring. But he does have to speak for himself, that maybe he needs a mouthpiece, but Logan Paul doesn't. But even Logan Paul, though, I don't know the script or what he was given. I would have liked these guys to not be scripted so much right here. I think that is kind of a Achilles heel in wrestling, and maybe that's a little old school terminology. But no, that was just my takeaway in a nutshell. Other than just the spots, I mean, even the promo lacked. I mean, because he said you're unprofessional. I wanted it to come off or come across as more personal. I felt like even when he hit the move, it was still a little bit, Ricochet just kind of said something, and then that's it. I don't know. What you're thinking?
I don't remember anything Ricochet said.
I don't either, and I think that's a telling sign.
Right, Logan Paul, right, you've already touched upon it. Logan Paul is, right, so this is supposed to be a reality-based, I'm thinking of it as, so let's place me in the ring as Ricochet, right? And this is if somebody was talking to me genuinely rather than a sports entertainment thing. But so Ricochet, so on Logan Paul's podcast, Logan Paul called out Ricochet, called him unprofessional for what happened at Money in the Bank. I think it's a work. It's just using his platform to promote what he's doing. So now we have them face to face in the ring. All right, Ricochet tries to be respectful at first, because he respects what Logan Paul's done in the ring. And I think most of us who watch Logan Paul can go, for an outsider, you're doing really well. Does he know if something went seriously wrong in a match, which it almost did at Money in the Bank? Would he know how to... He'd have to be led by his hand to finish it, let's face it. And he'll learn that as he goes. The more he does this, the more he'll learn. And I'm not taking that anyway, because you can be green. He's green, let's face it. He's bloody good, but he's green. He is then called a wrestler of 20 years unprofessional. Is that not the most disrespectful thing you can say to a wrestler who's been in it for 20 years?
No, so it is. I mean, it is a cheap shot, but even if it's a work, I mean, it's a good work, but it's definitely kind of a proverbial low blow.
How I feel it should have went down is the flip. I've seen Ricochet do that before. I saw he did it with Velveteen Dream in NXT. It was really good. In the moment, it worked. This time around, I was like, wow, you did a flip. Okay. I want to see, you've called me unprofessional, Logan Paul. Why don't you get in the ring and come in, get me? Why don't you come and prove that I'm unprofessional? And be like ready with fists, because he's called you unprofessional at your profession. The flip would have made more sense if because Logan Paul's already called him out. He actually said this, like, you do moves for TikTok. Logan Paul said this, you do moves for TikTok. So, then Ricochet could come back with something else, and then Logan Paul could be like, well, you wouldn't be able to catch me. I'd be out of here so quick, you wouldn't be able to catch me. And then Ricochet could have done that flip then. And it would, I'm here now. Let's have a fight. And then also, when they finally did come to blows, he did the fucking sliced bread on the outside of the ring. Punch the guy in the face.
See, I think it's too many high spots sometimes when like you're saying, punch him. Just make it feel that's where we want to suspend our disbelief and make it seem real. Yeah. I mean, because I do watch the modern stuff, because that's why I'm on here with Biddy. It's not that I'm trying to sound disrespectful or take anything away. But if we're going to be honest, that segment came off not poorly. That'd be a little too harsh, but just not good. Not well, maybe let me put it like this, like you're saying, not where two guys seem to be mad at each other. Maybe that's the better way to put it.
Yeah. We talked about Shayna Baszler a minute ago with Ronda Rousey, and Shayna Baszler delivered a great promo against Ronda. Yes, the crowd are into it as well, which helps. But there was nothing barely any response to Ricochet.
No,
at
even
all.
when Logan Paul, other than just the initial reaction, it was like the crowd kind of settled in. They didn't allow the crowd to get up any point, not meaning stand, but from the standpoint that they could react. It was just kind of like, I think they get conditioned a little bit to these kind of promos, and that's a lot of it too, where okay, we've kind of seen this before, and then even if he hits a move, we'll.
Oh, we've lost Tyler again. That's not good. Hopefully he comes back in a moment. So yeah, as I was saying about the whole hopefully Tyler will be back in a moment. It's all going wrong today, ladies and gents. My first show back, and it's all going wrong. But yeah, what I mean by it is a case of it should have been. I forgot where I was at now. Basically, it should have been a case of, I don't know, just the fact that he is he back? Hello? No. We'll leave it on there for a minute. Hopefully he's back. He's back. You're back, Tyler.
Yeah, I'm back. As soon as I make a point, it's not happened every time. It's had its moments, but it's like now Ricochet. Maybe I'm making those guys mad. Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. My
point really was that, like, the fact that he's called him unprofessional, I feel like Ricochet was like respectful. When Logan Paul started calling him unprofessional again and started, even during your promo, they're still chanting my name. You just do flips and stuff. He should have turned around and been right, boy. Me and you are gonna fall out basically now, or whatever. He should just punch the guy in the fucking face.
There should have been a fight. That to me, that was just kind of, let's just do our moves like Logan Paul wanted punching, and he kind of waited too long. I mean, to me, he's like, how could you fool him? Yeah.
It was like a cartoon run on the spot.
It was. It's like, okay, he's so far away, I'm going to turn back, and even though I know I can punch the guy, and then I'm like, well, that was another problem I saw.
So in the chat there, yes, lads, all the stunts and flips are okay in a match, but a fight, no. Never seen someone do a moonsault in town.
No, you're correct, son.
Yeah. My point is, he's calling you unprofessional. You're an outsider. Yes, you're good. I acknowledge that you're good, but you're now being disrespectful to me. And there was no fire in Ricochet whatsoever.
No, you got to have something.
Yeah, and then talk about like with some wrestlers, like a Steve Austin. Imagine Logan Paul said you're unprofessional. Steve Austin wouldn't have had to said a fucking word. He would just looked at him.
Yeah, his expression would have changed. He'd been like,
come here, boy. I'm going to whip your ass. You're going to stop a mud hole.
And then get a beer afterwards.
Have the scrap outside the confines of a wrestling match. When the wrestling match starts, then you work up to these flips and flops and all that kind of stuff. But what I was trying to get at was, we talked about Shayna Baszler and Ronda a minute ago, and I've always been a fan of Shayna's work in ring. Mm-hmm. Seeing that promo that she did against Ronda also proves that she can talk and has potential. Whereas Ricochet, yes, he's good in ring. Yes, it's good for your YouTube bloody hits and stuff. Not that I want to agree with Logan Paul. My point is that it needed to be more fire, and that was not there. And then he hit him with sliced bread outside the fucking ring,
and then even the exchange that he had. That's what I meant earlier. Yeah. There was nothing. There wasn't no substance, I guess would be a word.
There you go. I mean, they'll put on a good match. Of course they will. It'll be visually spectacular, but
promos have to get you interested. That's one thing, like you're saying about Stone Cold. Not that they got to recreate Stone Cold. That's not what we're saying. But you knew when there was a star like The Rock or somebody, it meant business. I mean, you knew something exciting or dangerous was going to happen.
Yeah, there you go. Like Undertaker could just do a look.
Oh, yeah, Undertaker, another great illustration. Apparently, he's scaring even sharks away.
Apparently so. Yeah, I saw that. Saved his wife from a shark or something.
Yeah, Michelle McCoy is the Undertaker's wife. The dead man just had to stare at this shark. And I'm like, that needs to be on Shark Week. Get him on there.
So I saw a picture of that. And somebody put Brock Lesnar picking up a shark in F5.
Oh, yeah, for SummerSlam. Yeah, you did F5 the shark. Yeah, just get Lesnar and the Undertaker on him. Yeah,
I was trying to
maybe they need to be in the Meg with Jason Statham. Maybe that's
there you go. Yeah, there you go. We got one more before we end the show. Let's look at that. So Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. He's laid down the challenge. Obviously, we're waiting for the response, but let's face it, the rubber match between these two. What I heard apparently when he said, I want a rubber match against Brock Lesnar. Apparently, some people went online and were like, "What's a rubber match?" As in, they thought
what's
it was
that?
a match type. They thought it was a match type, which I thought was hilarious in itself.
Yeah, no, it's funny.
Brock versus Cody. It needs to be done. I want to see it. Cody should win. I'm jumping ahead of myself here, but the question I'm asking the chat and yourself, Tyler, is what match type should this be? What stipulation should it be? Because I think it needs a stipulation.
Yeah, it does need one. I've heard bull rope. That would be interesting. I don't know if you do it here, but no one. I guess a play on Dusty a little bit because he did bull rope matches, I guess, with superstar Billy Graham, and you've got a guy that's a beast. I mean, genetically, like Lesnar, that is strong. It would make for a fascinating story in ring. I'm not sure, though. Let us know in the chat because it definitely ought to be a match, and it's going to happen. Cody did throw the challenge at SummerSlam, and it'll be exciting. And I do feel maybe Cody does need to go over it due to probably is Brock staying around. I think.
I'm not laughing at you, Tyler. Sorry, there was a comment here. We've asked what type of match it's going to be. Maybe we should have asked this crowd because the match.
Sable.
Sable
on a pole match. Well, remember, I don't think you're allowed to say that on WWE television. Maybe that's why. But Edge did. If you watch SmackDown, he did mention Sable. So I don't know what's going on. But yeah, with all due respect, that is the real life wife of Brock Lesnar, and that would be wow. Is it flashbacks to early ruthless aggression attitude era? Because when Sable was brought in,
I thought maybe it would be quite cool.
Brandy then? Oh, a Brandy Rose? Yeah.
Are you going for a brand? Oh, you mean Cody's wife? No, but yeah, basically, it's I thought maybe a 2 out of 3 falls match would be quite good because they've had their respective pins or whatever.
You don't want a 2 out of 3 falls bull rope match? I mean, just make it a crazy stipulation. Of course, I'm not being serious. I just wanted to be funny.
I understand the callbacks to Dusty and because it's Cody, and I get it, but I kind of don't want them to go overboard with it because then it's just
where it gets too gimmicky.
Yeah, or like too much.
Because even the older matches, as much as we hold them up or revere them, could get that way.
Yes, yeah, and it's not, but I don't want to like a modern day carbon slight variance copy of Dusty Rhodes' career, of
no, because I think that's the thing. As much as we respect Dusty, what he's done, Cody, it's pretty adamant, and like a lot of folks that are second or third generation, you want to be your own man, though. At the same time,
yeah, definitely, yeah. But yeah, I think there's a case to be made. Let's say for argument's sake, because we've talked about it at length today. Let's say Cody is going to be going to WrestleMania and facing Roman for the title. We've seen Roman be pinned. Obviously, we have a lot of months between now and WrestleMania, but wouldn't it be quite good to see Brock tap? Because then that leaves the option to
where he would submit.
Yeah, to then maybe Roman could then, because he's beaten Brock Lesnar with submission, that sets him up quite nicely for going down the line for against Roman. Roman's won multitude of matches either with pinfall or submissions or whatever. I wouldn't say he's won too many with submissions, but he has won them. But I don't know. It's just if you're going that way with Brock, with Cody and Roman later on, I just maybe having Cody win by submission, because then he's beat Brock by pin, out wrestled him with a pin, and then he's tapped him as well. So
I mean, it makes his stats look good going against somebody like Lesnar, that especially the return and everything. I know I see what you're implying, and I like it. I can see it going that way, and also credit to the comments, maybe what you were bringing up, the whole what if Orton shows up after this and attacks Cody? If not for Roman, do we see it? I mean, if he's coming back at SummerSlam, or speaking of big returns, do you see that? Would be another question, possibly.
Well, yeah, I mean, we did do a bit of Randy Orton, but yeah, it would be good to see Randy Orton back. I think there's an inbuilt story for like we said at the top of the show.
There is one, and I get caught up in the Roman Reigns stuff too. So forgive me, I'm probably guilty.
No worries.
People are like, man, he's acknowledging Roman Reigns. Well, yes, I am. To be fair, I would still. Dusty loved. Oh yeah, the bunkhouse brawl. That's right, side. Bring the bunkhouse brawl back, baby.
I don't know what that is.
Well,
this.
you know something. You're gonna have to go back and watch the Bunkhouse Brawl, baby, if you will. Cause funkier than a monkey, if you.
Mate, your Dusty Rhodes is so much better than mine.
Well, I tried. I've got to polish up on it. It's no
mate,
Paul Bearer,
mate. I said it before on the show, but mine came out German somehow, so I can't even do it. So it makes no sense whatsoever.
I just think of that as like a southern redneck guy with soul, man. But I love it. It's not a knock; it's a compliment. And that's how you think about it.
I just wonder where the chat would go. Whether would they prefer Jay to beat Roman for the title, or would they prefer Cody to win the title? Tyler Rhodes, baby.
Yeah. Sprinkle a little bit of that dust there. Let me put a charismatic, charisma is what I'm trying to say there, baby. Yeah, there you go.
Mate, that's brilliant. Mate, I got to get you to record This is the In the Corner doing.
Yeah, well, In the Corner with Ben and Mac. I may not been able to say it with English, but something about when I get into the American dream. It's not about me though. It's about Cody finishing the story. If you got to beat that list for a little bit, there you go. No offense, but,
mate, that's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, now I'm gonna be talking like this the whole time, and I don't mean to. There you go.
There you go, James.
Yeah. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, baby. Thank you, if you will. Okay, enough. I know. I better.
No, there you go, mate. Well done.
I'm back to it. Yeah, sorry. I got a little better. You know, it's a lot of practice here. It's.
Oh man, I can't do it for shit. I can't do it.
Anyway. Well, I can't do certain ones either. You probably outdo me on. I know I tried Piper and I sounded like
we'll try it off the air. We'll try it off
bad
the air
Scottish
first.
guy or something. Could do it. Yeah.
We'll try it off the air first. I'm not doing it on the air because
okay. Yeah. Don't worry. Well, I was scared to do it on air if I'm going to be honest.
You did it perfectly, mate. You did it perfectly. Yeah. Sai saying it's gold there. There we go.
Oh, thank you, sir. Well, thank you. From the man that wore the polka dots, the man that was booking in Atlanta and now back with Vince McMahon, running NXT, running wild. It ain't even Hulk Hogan, the man that inspired him, was superstar Billy Graham. There you go.
Hey, mate, that was brilliant. Anyway. Right, I think that's pretty much it for the show.
No, you're fine. I don't know why. Now we're talking Dusty and Cody, and oh my god,
I'm looking forward to SmackDown this week. Obviously, you can see what's follow on with the Usos and stuff. But thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I need to speak to Sai about this, but unfortunately, I don't know what's going to happen next Wednesday because I only found out today. I haven't had a chance to message the wise man himself yet. There may not be an In the Corner next week. Tyler is away. I'm actually away on work somewhere, so I don't know how I would even be able to do a show. So there might be a bit of a gap in the corner. I also need to talk to Tyler about some other stuff. That's all fair. But anyway, Tyler, where else can we see your good self? I know you're having a week off next week, so there might be a bit of a gap, but where else can we see you doing stuff?
I am doing stuff at WrestleBuddy.com right now. Of course, SJP World Media with yourself, the great Benny Mac on In the Corner. And check out all those great shows that they've got going on. I know Benny can tell you a lot more because there's so much good stuff. I can't even remember it all. And thanks for the great comment, as always. And then just, pretty much WrestleBuddy and SJP World Media. That's the two big content providers. So I don't like that word. Maybe I just said two providers. I think he's got something with the word content. I'm starting to remember now. But either way, I'm at Dustin Tyler 86 on Twitter. That's where you can really follow more of what I'm doing. That's it. You know, I actually try to shorten it with all due respect to the other projects because, like I said, I need to write them down.
There's so many, man. Well, I'll tell you now, on SJP World Media, obviously you have Chain Wrestling on them. I need to get the schedule, but Chain Wrestling, you've got yourself when you get to do it, back when.
Back when, and I didn't mean to forget it, but when we can do it. It's just been kind of tough right now.
If you're into books, Away from the Pages with Sai's better half. You got Gameplay Junkies, which is every other Sunday with myself and Jack talking video games and just the tech world in general. WCW Nitro Nights.
With Danny and Sai,
In the Corner, obviously, which you're watching now. We've got Nothing to Shows returning this Sunday in audio form only. You'll check that out. Me and Sai talk about some random stuff on that show. It is literally, the concept of that show is basically you are the listener at the next table enjoying your breakfast or whatever you're doing, and you just happen to hear these two random people talking about whatever they're talking about. So that's the concept of the show. We hang out in the Nothingness Show CAF. Once you listen to the show, you'll understand what I'm on about. The Murder in Mind pod. I don't know if the SGP podcast is back yet. I know he said he was going to do some stuff. The waiting room's on a bit of a hiatus at the minute. We are trying to get a few done. Doctor Who pod, I think I've mentioned already. I think I've mentioned them all. Murder in Mind podcast. So just follow.
There's so many. Yeah, you just need to follow their page.
It's not just wrestling. There's a lot of stuff on there that is just hopefully entertainment and some other stuff. Yeah, on Twitter at the bottom there, on Facebook and everything at SJP World Media. You can follow this show at In the Corner WWE on Twitter as well. I don't know whether I've said everything I need to say, Tyler, but the show's over, so I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, hey, and it's your show. Hey, so when you say it's over, it's over.
Did you share your Twitter, Tyler? I can't remember.
Yeah, I did. It Destin Tyler 86, but I'll say it again just in case.
Yeah. And you follow myself at Benny Mac B NNYMACK, and we will see you all again. Maybe, well, hopefully next week, but it might be the week after. To be fair, so take care of yourself, everybody.
To see if I believe they're looking up to me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me.